Alright, what is going on, everybody? We are here with Heroes of Might and Magic Olden Era. We are in the playtest, so obviously any of this is bound to possibly change, not only coming out of the playtest, but also during EA until the actual full release, as well as just any updates. But we're going to be going over every single faction's heroes and creatures, so please don't forget to like and subscribe. What we're actually going to do is turn down this freaking music real quick because it's a little loud. Alright, sorry about that. So we're just going to go over every single temple heroes. There are a lot of new heroes. There are 18 per faction, as you see. We're going to go over all of them, what they do, what they start with. So Esther here has 10% movement points with 5% for every 8 levels. Moves more significantly. Oh my lord. Significantly more efficiently on roads. Okay, that was a lot. Obviously starts with the basic logistics there as well, and then this is obviously their starting army. The variations of it, pretty much all of them are pretty close to the same. Leon's Sticky Fingers has no terrain penalties, gains 1 sight radius plus 1 more for every 5 levels. Now this is actually probably pretty huge. While logistics is obviously great at any point in the game, really, the terrains for different people, how they're setting up, so every single faction has a different terrain around them, so that actually might be pretty nice. And then obviously has basic scouting for more sight radius to see people faster. And then John Johnson, so swordsman growth, so obviously as you see, plus like for most Heroes games, everybody has heroes that are heroes for creatures. So this is the swordsman, the very first tier 1 creature for temple / haven here. He is their hero. So swordsman growth increases by 1, which is cool. They also get more speed, initiative, and HP, and their attack and defense is increased by 1 for every 3 levels. So that is actually huge. An enemy swordsmen lose equal amount of attack and defense too, so that's pretty cool as well, especially if you're fighting for against the same factions or even just neutral people. So that's pretty cool. That's what we're gonna see for every single um, hero that is the hero for creatures. So we won't go too deep into that every single time, but that is going to be the base for this game. Is increased creature growth, which I think is cool. Increased speed and initiative and HP, which is also cool. And then the normal attack and defense for every 3 levels, but also makes enemies worse as well. And then starts with basic defense as we see. So I think that's going to be super cool to see. Just honestly some pretty strong creatures, even if they are low tier. Kestrel here, everything that we just saw, but for crossbowmen, so we won't go too deep into that and start with basic offense instead of defense. So literally all the same, starts with a little bit better. Eos the Exalted increases morale of friendly creatures by 1 and gives 2% chance per morale point that a friendly creature takes an additional turn. For every 4 levels, this is increased by 1. So obviously that can be pretty strong, having everybody be able to take 2 turns pretty much every single attack. That's actually pretty crazy. And then you're getting basic leadership for +1 morale as well, and you can affect that. So yeah, that's actually I think Eos can be very strong, especially on like bigger maps where you level up fast enough. Every 4 levels is not terrible. I think if it was every 3, it'd actually probably be, pretty insane, but every 4 kind of makes it a little more balanced. But yeah, again, that's going to be a lot of turns for friendly creatures for sure. Just the chance for them in general. Heretic produces 1 gem per day plus 1 more for every 5 levels, increases the amount of gems found on the map by 100%. So, I believe in this game every single faction is going to have a hero that does this, as far as being able to get their needed resource for their tier 7 unit even more. So much like we've seen in other games, every tier 7 costs a specific faction resource, a mercury, a crystal, a gem, whatever. So what I've seen is that every single faction has a hero do this as well, to where you're producing even more of those, so you never really have to worry about it. And honestly, these can be good, like, secondary or, further down the line heroes as well, just to, produce more resources every single day, as well as find more too. And does start with basic recruitment, so +4 to tier 1 creature growth in all cities. So not just the one, every single one of them. So that's a lot of swordsmen for her, but more produced gems. Kendra here is the cavalry hero. Starts with basic battlecraft. When a creature waits in battle, they gain 20% attack until the end of the round. If they skip a turn, they gain 20% defense until the end of the round. And what I will go over is Haven/Temple starts with basic ascension. That is their faction skill. So each time a friendly stack dies, all remaining friendly creatures' HP increases until increases 10% until the end of the next round. Which honestly I don't think that might be decent, especially if you put some points into it, but I don't think that's going to be super crazy, because once people start dying, that extra HP just for the round is not going to be enough, I don't think. But yeah, so she is the cavalry hero for Temple here. Lord Edgar increases attack and defense of friendly creatures by 20% of his attack and defense, plus 5% more for every 6 hero levels. Okay, so you're increasing your creature's stacks by 20% based on his attack and defense. And then his starting skill is just Advanced Ascension, which I don't think is going to be very good. So you're only going to get better when people die. But it's more attack and defense for free essentially, so it's not bad. But I don't think it's going to be very strong here. Oh Lord Mandel, his heroic strikes deal plus 40 damage plus 5 more for every 3 hero levels. Additionally, it increases all damage taken by the target by 20% till the end of the next round. So I think that's actually going to be pretty decent. So instead of your heroic strike costs a focus point in this game, instead of just being able to do that or cast. Obviously you can still do both, but I think that's actually going to be pretty nice, because it's only every 3 levels that you're gaining more, and you already do plus 40. Plus then that target takes more damage that round. So if you can do that, like some early initiative, damage somebody that you're going to target, you're going to do more damage to them, plus they're going to take more damage that round. So then basic resistance is less magic damage, so that's pretty solid. So I think he might be pretty decent if you're trying to run a might hero and not magic, obviously, to just really break him down. Mary Elias, 1 spell cap for each global map spell. Additionally, his maximum mana increases by 10% plus 5 for every 5 levels. And then starts with Diplomacy. Starting spells, reinforcements instantly interact with any external dwelling the hero controls within 12 squares. So I guess just pull anybody in if you need to, instead of moving over there as well. Then Diplomacy allows you to sometimes recruit neutral armies for gold instead of fighting them. So that's going to be interesting, because sometimes when you would let people join, it wouldn't always cost gold. But I don't know how I feel about the... I don't think I like the one spell cap for the global map spells. I don't feel like they're used often enough. Now his maximum mana increase is nice for sure, but I don't know. That's not going to be somebody for me. And then Pip, 20% extra, 25% extra XP, and then 5% for every 2 hero levels. Upon leveling up, gain 1 additional attribute. Yo, that's crazy fast. 25% plus 5% extra for every 2 levels is not a lot. You're going to be leveling up like crazy. So gain insight plus more XP. Early start initiative of friendly creatures increases. Okay, so he gets a starting spell for just increased initiative. But yo, Pip is going to be outscaling the fuck out of everybody. He doesn't seem that good aside from that, but I mean, you can essentially just build whatever you want. I mean, I'm guessing because he gets so much more XP and everything like that, maybe you can, I mean, again, just build him however you want to, I guess. That's insane, that's so fast. Zenith, okay, Zenith is the Light Weaver hero here. Basic intelligence for extra mana. Starting spells, Heavenly Blades. Target friendly creatures. Deal 50% plus 50 pure damage upon attack and restores the same amount of HP. Does not revive fallen units. Okay, so just going to be doing extra damage to, it's basically just lifesteal, but basic intelligence for more mana. And the Light Weaver's hero here, Leah, receives +1 level to all daylight spells, +1 more for every 10 hero levels. Can use them in battle without limits. Enemy hero cannot cast daylight spells. Ooh. Okay. Basic daylight magic. Tier 3. Daylight spells gain level. Reveals the borders of all zones, including those hidden by the fog of war. Okay. Interesting. So yeah, that's going to be some disgusting daylight magic if you get her leveled up for sure. That's going to do high damage or high craziness to your own units for sure. So that's interesting. Julius starts with Masterful Healing Water. This version spell triggers again at the beginning of the next 2 rounds after being cast. While casting the spell, effective spell power is increased by 1 for every 3 levels. So that's literally just obviously healing somebody. So somebody that's getting targeted a lot or that you want healed for the next few rounds, that'll be cool to use a very good version of that. And then basic magic resistance. That'll be interesting. I'm not sure that I would start with him, but or have him be my main, but it's an interesting way to go. Seems like we're seeing a whole lot of magic heroes, and then all of the might ones seem to be pretty heavy on just the creatures, but we did see the one where he did more damage with his personal attack. Starts with the Masterful Blessing spell. This version of the spell always deals max damage. While casting the spell is increased for every 3 levels. Basic daylight magic, blessing, target friendly, it deals plus 10% damage with basic attack. So more damage per thing's not super crazy to me. Okay, starts with Masterful Ariana's Touch. Same thing, just better in every 3 levels. So friendly creature gains +1 speed, initiative, and max HP. So that's just increased to 2 instead of 1. And then maybe when you level it up, it's increased by 2. Okay, then Nadir, Master Vulnerability. Okay, spell power is increased for every 3 levels. Vulnerability, target takes 20% more damage from all sources. Starts with Nightshade magic though, not Daylight. Starting with Nightshade this time. That's interesting. And then Clarissa produces 500 gold per day, plus 100 more for every one hero level. Increases the amount of gold found on the map by 50%. Yo, as a secondary hero, this bitch is going to be producing crazy gold for you. I mean, 500 gold per day, even in the beginning, is large. And then 100 for every single hero level up. And you're going to be finding more. That's crazy. Plus she has basic economy for getting 500 gold a day. So I'm not sure if that equals 1,000 or if that is her 500 gold that they're referring to, but still. And then starting spell, getting an extra focus charge. That's a lot. That's a lot of, I mean, it's a lot of extra magic. If you are a might version, you're doing like global map stuff, you know, with movement and logistics. A lot of them are obviously, um, you know, creature heroes as well. I think Eos is going to be strong though. Extra morale for possibly double hits. And then I think Lord Mandel might be pretty decent too. But there were some other ones, like Pip is going to fucking outscale the shit out of everybody. And then Clarissa is just going to produce all of the gold in the world for you, which is crazy. So definitely a lot of like strong, like good starting heroes, and a lot of, honestly I don't know if they meant to do that, but it feels like a lot of these heroes, and probably because there's 18 of them, that there's some that are definitely going to be not your main hero, but people that you want to pick up, like Clarissa, like um, Heretic Avis here, that's producing more gems, and but yeah, that is the Temple faction, all of the heroes for Temple, so please do not forget to like and subscribe. We'll be going over every single faction's heroes, as well as going over all of their creatures as well, and all of the upgrades and everything that they do in this game, so please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will be back with even more Olden era content. Again, obviously all of this is work in progress, might change before the game releases in EA, or before it releases in actual after coming out of EA, or any updates that they do. So this is just what we're working with for right now. So we will see you guys in the next one.